Hey, it's Leslie with Road Notes. I am going to give you a little bit of a tour of our 21 QB Coachmen Freelander. This is a 2014. We purchased it in May of 2014, and it's about 25 feet with the cab included. It's been a great RV for us as a starter RV. I can honestly say that even though it is not a huge RV and it's got a few things that we probably would have wanted to have a little bit different, this has been a great RV. We've had very limited problems, knock wood, with the interior portion. Now, we have had some issues with the cab as far as some issues that Chevy had to deal with. That's a whole separate topic. But for a starter RV, this has been perfect. It has everything we need, and we've made a few modifications to make it a little more cozy. And of course, one of the questions that people ask is, well, how do you camp when you have two big dogs? Because we have a Siberian Husky that's about 60 pounds now, and Zoe is our blackmouth cur, and she's about 65. So I'm going to show you a couple of things that we did to give it a little bit more room, and then I'm going to give you a tour. So this is the entryway. It's just a basic 2-stair entryway, nothing spectacular. Ours does not have automatic stairs on the outside, so we use an old like Reebok step because it can get a little difficult on the knees. On the entryway, we added this little 2-bin storage from Hobby Lobby, and this thing's been great because our Husky is still kind of a puppy and likes to chew. We took everything off the floor, so we've got a cute little sign here, and then we've got the shoes and the dog stuff. So this is like all the bags and the leashes. We keep a Furminator handy, and then we also have the broom and the dustpan. Up here is an addition that I put in about a year and a half ago because we eat a lot of fruit and we eat a lot of vegetables, and there really isn't a lot of storage space for that kind of stuff here. So we put this in, and it's basically just like a towel rack that we put these baskets on, and it's been great. Now, there is an extra basket attached right at the moment, but as you can see, they're like mesh, and they're really, really good for holding bananas and fruit. Up here is where we keep all the dog stuff, so when we leave out of town, I measure out all the dog's food and put them in bags, and then we keep all the extra medication and things up here. We added a key ring. This key ring also holds like our, as you can see, our pot holders. And then sometimes we hang the USB cords and some other things. We also have like a 6-outlet plug that we use that's not plugged in right at the moment. And then here's our control panel, so everything's really central. So I'm looking at adding a little bit of some space up here, but it's a short space, so it's going to be it's going to have to be something really small for like little knickknacks. So here's the kitchen, and I added this shelf. It's a basic wood shelf. It's pretty sturdy. We actually had to nail this one, or screw this one I should say, into the wall. Here's where we tried to do it, and it didn't work out so well. We hit something that wouldn't let us put the screw through. So it's working out great. This is actually now our spice rack, and where we keep vitamins and things like that when we travel, and it's really a good size and holds quite a bit. These are our regular old blinds. Being that this is a little bit older RV, it doesn't have frameless windows. Our next one will, but we haven't had really any problems with the windows. Our sink is one of the smaller RV sinks, but we've done a lot with it because we have other devices to help drain the pots and, you know, the strainer and all these kinds of things. And this little rack here that we can put out when we're doing things, which is helpful. And then we have this little piece that folds out to give us an extra shelf. Up here is our king bed. Now, if you were not traveling with anyone who would need this bunk, it is a tremendous amount of storage. It goes way back. And the TV pulls forward, so you would be able to use the space behind it. So this bed is great. It can be used for so many things. It has its own light up there, and then and it also has a window, which is nice. So in our area here, this is the ladder for the bed. We keep a cooler bag strapped here, and then a couple of hats, but behind here is where we decided to keep the table. 2 prongs on the floor here, as you can see. These are for the larger table. One of the problems here is, as you can also see, it backs up to this other rug. So if you're working with the table, you can see that it doesn't leave you a lot of room, and with 2 big dogs, it kind of gets us in a little bit of a problem. So we have the smaller table that we use, and there's also a table that we've seen other RVers use from IKEA that rolls out and puts away. We just don't have the space for it in this one, but we surely will have it in the next one. This is our U-shaped dinette. I don't know why they say it's a U. It looks more like banana, but it's a pretty big dinette, and we ended up having to buy a cover for it. They wanted close to $900 to make us new covers for this, which I found to be just insane.
Are you crazy?
So there's microfiber on half of these cushions underneath, and one of the problems that we ran into was it started chipping. So it was flaking everywhere in the RV. So I found this slip cover on Amazon. It's basically a sofa slip cover, and we used some mattress ties, and now we've got this. It's not perfect, but it works so much better, and it was only like $30. So we got some decorative pillows. Okay, so when we have the dogs, they sleep on this dinette, and it works out really well because they can actually sleep on the floor or the dinette. In the kitchen, besides the top, we have a 3-burner propane, but we also bought an induction burner that sits on the tabletop because we tried to make spaghetti one night while camping, and it took about an hour for the water to boil. So the induction burner and induction cookware were a really good investment. Down here, I have a storage area. Right now it's full of junk, but it's a pretty good size, and we typically will fill it with things like bagged food or small packages that would fit in here, coffee and things like that. And then over here we have a large area that's got our blender, the toaster, we've got a rice cooker in there, colander, and then down here the induction cookware, the induction burner, and a lot of Tupperware and things like that. This area is getting ready to have an overhaul because we have some cast iron pans that we really don't need anymore since we got the new grill. So that's something that we're going to be changing out. Here we've got a step area, and then all the fuses are underneath. This is our microwave. Now these models are not convection. The older RVs like this didn't have the convection ovens, especially one in something this small. So it does take a little bit longer to cook things, but it's been worth it. Here is our upper storage, and in here we've got a mess, as you can see. But basically it has all the cookware, the water container to boil, and then we've got glasses and cups, and then I use these to hold it. This area is also getting ready to be cleaned out because there's a few things that we've learned over the years that we really don't need, and we really just haven't taken the time to do a thorough clean out. Freezer and refrigerator. This one runs on propane as well as propane as well as electric. The one thing that I don't care for is this. So I just cleaned this out about 6 weeks ago, and as you can see, it's a problem already. So the next one will have to be a better setup for us. Over here I added a storage area for when we're watching TV to hold books or magazines or whatever. And as I stated before, this is a solid pass-through storage which holds so much stuff. You could add pull-out drawers or whatever you needed. Here is the RV Queen. It is Very, very comfortable because we added, this RV mattress was horrible. We added a 4-inch memory foam on it, and it's been great. RV Queen, as you can see, it's circled like almost like a half circle on the end over here, but the extra mattress makes it hang over a little bit. The actual RV mattress itself does not. This storage and this storage are all pass-through. There is a tremendous amount of storage in such a small RV, and we could definitely take this RV for several weeks and not have any problems as far as finding places to put things. We added a basket back here because I like to have my book and other things in the evenings, and so there's plenty of room there, and we can add a second one if we really needed to, because there's a little bit of space behind that valance back there. The color scheme in the RV, this is one of those things, it's a personal choice. I don't really care for the blinds because they're the basic blinds, nor do I really care about the color scheme, but this was one of those battles where we just decided not to make a bunch of big changes. It gets costly quickly, and we knew we weren't going to be keeping the RV forever, so we just left it the way it is, and it's been fine. We haven't had any problems with the blinds. We added a television, which is wonderful, and command strip error right there, so I'll be finding something to cover up that. But command strips are your best friend in an RV. You can do all kinds of things with them. We did add some covers to the vent to keep it a little bit darker at times, and it helps with the temperature as well. I just picked up some reflectix today to add to the windows because it is Florida and it's really hot. We have a little rack here for bathrobes, backpacks, and hats that we typically use. It looks a little cluttered, but in the overall scheme, we don't even notice it after a while. We have a really big closet. I made the mistake of trying to add a curtain rod in here, or a closet rod I should say, and it fell when we traveled. So we had talked about maybe taking this part out and adding a rod running the other direction, because it just seems like wasted space in a way. But we're gonna leave it for now. So this is a double, and then we have 2 sliding drawers which hold a lot of stuff. Here's the restroom. We added a shelf up here. We have this triangular shelf which doesn't do much of anything, but we have it for little stuff. And then I added a couple of little things here for toothpaste and toothbrushes. The sink works pretty well. It's a little on the small side, but we have storage underneath, and then we have a decent shower. Got some coat hooks for towels, and then we have the fan. Now we recently just changed out the vent above because it broke. Florida weather just destroyed it, so we just changed that out. So that makes a huge difference. And then we have our standard toilet. So as you can see, in a small amount of space, we actually have quite a bit of storage. And when we camp, we're typically outside more than anything, but it's big enough that if you have a bad day, you could be watching TV back here, someone else can be reading a book or doing whatever here, and you're not stepping on top of each other. So this is our little Coachmen Freelander. We did add, by the way, this air conditioner, which is a variable speed. It goes high, low, and auto, as well as having fan only. And this was the best investment we made because it was so loud in here with the old Dometic that we couldn't hear the television. So when we switched it out, it's been a lot better. Not to say it's perfect, but it definitely makes a huge difference. And a lot of people complain that they can't sleep.
Hey, you awake?
At night if they turn the air off, because you don't have the same insulation like you would a house. With the RV running, I don't hear anything outside. When it's off, I hear everything. So this has been very, very helpful for me because I'm a light sleeper. Now, Mark is going to show you the exterior of our little baby. And if anybody's interested in our little RV, it will be up for sale sometime in the near future. Hey, it's Leslie with Road Notes. I am going to give you... Well, I'm using this handheld thing, and we don't get along. That we can put... But we had a problem with... Oh my God, I'm going to throw this thing.